Good morning, this is Shelby Law with the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Friday, July 24th, 2020. Fire potential impacts for the next couple of days are shown here. Really going to see a decrease in thunderstorm activity starting today and continuing through the weekend. But for this afternoon, we're still looking for some isolated thunderstorms over the central Idaho mountains, the higher elevations of central and eastern Utah, right along the Sierra front, and then we do have the potential for some drier type thunderstorms right here in northeast Nevada and into south central Idaho. For tomorrow, thunderstorms decreasing with just some isolated lingering thunderstorms there along the Sierra front, far eastern Utah and northeast Nevada. And then by Sunday, we're really just looking at central and eastern Utah, and then still right along the front. So winds die down for the next couple of days, except in your thunderstorms where those outflows can be strong. And then we are looking for a return of some moisture starting on Monday. Yesterday was a fairly active day for some good thunderstorms developing over much of central and eastern Utah, even up into northern Utah, central and southwest Idaho, and even in northern Nevada. So pretty good day overall, lots of lightning activity, and some of these thunderstorms certainly were accompanied by a good amount of measurable precipitation, especially over southern Utah and then up into Idaho. Great Basin fire activity shown here, still highlighting the areas we've mostly been seeing for the large fire activity across southwest Utah, down on the border with Arizona. We have had a couple of larger fires, however, across southern Idaho the last few days. That's been a change over what we've seen recently. So some potential for fire spread there now that the sagebrush live fuel moistures have come down and the grass is all cured there, and it has been on the drier side. However, they did just receive some precipitation yesterday, so that should knock things out just a little bit for a few days anyway. So precipitation is shown here. This is the last 7 days and the last 30 days on the right, a percent of average. This doesn't include the precipitation from yesterday, but what we kind of want to highlight here is we still have some pretty dry pockets over central and southern Nevada, including southeast Nevada, and then also southwest Utah is still on the dry side. We do have some pockets there still west of St. George and down on the strip that are still on the drier side. And then, of course, the 30 days still showing that continued trend of dryness in those areas as well. ERCs are shown here. We can see they have come down across the north and across central and eastern Utah, but we still do have this dry pocket there in eastern and southeast Nevada and far western and southwest Utah. Even the Uinta Basin hasn't received a whole lot of precipitation this round. So closer look at southern Idaho, where we've seen some of those larger fires the last couple of days. Those ERCs have really increased over the past week. They were much below normal at the beginning of even the first couple weeks of July, and now towards the end of July, they're right at average, and so we should expect to see some fire activity up there, which is what we're seeing. Further south along the Arizona Strip here, those values are still sitting right at the historical maximums for the time of year. Normally, we would have seen much more precipitation at some of those stations for a longer period of time. So definitely some relief down there. ERCs are on their way down. There have been higher relative humidities and some good precipitation mounts at the higher elevations. But down low, the precipitation has been a little bit more hit or miss, and then still dry over southern Nevada. Okay, satellite imagery for this morning, showing a trough moving into kind of scooting by the Pacific Northwest and southern Canada. This will help moisture move off to the east over the next few days and dry out the Great Basin. So for today, we can see the deep moisture moving off to the east. We don't have any high risk issued. We've seen some of our PSAs in eastern Utah transition to green or yellow, and even northern Nevada and southern Idaho have transitioned to yellow for the short term anyway. Not looking for any strong winds out there across the basin today, other than what's associated with some drier thunderstorms possibly there over northeast Nevada and south central Idaho, and maybe some breezier winds in the Idaho mountains a little bit closer to that low. For precipitation today, looking for the best chances over the central Idaho mountains. Again, that little kind of a cluster of possibly mixed wet and dry thunderstorms there in northeast Nevada and south central Idaho, higher elevations of central Utah, and then the Sierra front. So those are the areas we'll see those thunderstorms pop up again today. Much of the same expected for Saturday, just some lingering moisture, decreasing thunderstorms, but we'll see them pop up in generally the same areas. But the dryness level is still going to take a few days to recover in some of those areas. Winds remain light for the most part across the geographic area, with just maybe some stronger breezes over your central and eastern Idaho. And we can see the precipitation really decreasing by Saturday, with just some very isolated thunderstorms here and there. And on Sunday, we'll see continued dryness across much of the area. Some of our PSAs move back into yellow and brown as the effects of this round of precipitation start to wear off under that dry air mass. Some moisture still in place over southeast Utah. So winds still not expecting to be very strong for much of the area. Maybe some breezier winds here in far western Nevada associated with any outflows there. And then relative humidities by Sunday still looking pretty dry, definitely below 15% for much of the Great Basin and lower across the lower elevations of Nevada and western Utah. 3-day precip totals shown here. Really just looking for the continued wider chance for wider thunderstorms over central and eastern Utah, and then up into western Wyoming, and then that chance over far northeast Nevada. But elsewhere, kind of that drying trend, certainly dry over southern Nevada and western Utah. On Monday, we see this little slug of moisture move north through northern California, and into Nevada, actually. So the precipitation we're expecting to move in early next week will be mostly across the northern 2/3 of the geographic area, keeping things a little bit drier across southern Nevada. But so looking for that increased moisture on Monday to Nevada for an increased chance of some thunderstorms and showers. And then on Tuesday, it moves further northward into Idaho, and we'll see some showers move to Idaho and northern Utah on Tuesday. And then maybe some lingering activity on Wednesday, but the high pressure ridge starts to build a little bit further north with that trough off the coast of the Pacific Northwest. So warming temperatures and some dryness on Wednesday. And a continuation of that on Thursday, we can see as that trough starts to move closer to the Pacific Northwest with the ridge off to the south and the east. Some pretty dry air moving up into Nevada. May see some breezy winds as well. And we'll be looking to see if any more of this moisture comes up into the Great Basin. So we're still experiencing some moisture moving into the area, but followed by periods of dryness. 7-day totals here, really just showing what we're expecting in the short term with the precipitation for the next couple of days over east, central, and eastern Utah. Not really picking up on much of that precipitation moving into the northern Nevada early next week just yet, but we will likely see a little bit more fill in here. And then the extended forecast from the Climate Prediction Center calling for above normal temperatures going into the first week of August, and below normal precipitation for Idaho and the Northern Rockies, really kind of seeing things dry out up there. Above normal precip across the southwest, and we'll see what that does for central and eastern Utah, but it looks like Nevada is still going to stay on the dry side. That concludes today's fire potential briefing. Please check back tomorrow for the latest updates.